Okay. Thank you. Yeah, there's no guarantee I'm doing this right. You know that. You're doing a great job. Good morning, everyone. Can folks hear me okay in the room? Okay, perfect. We are going to go ahead and get ready to get started with our Charles E. Lindley Lecture for the day. So I will give folks a few minutes just to find their seats. I know there's some folks outside making their way in. Students, how was the roundtables? It was good. Do you feel better now that that's over? You're our guest of honor. All right. So again, welcome to the Charles E. Lindley Lecture. Very excited to have Dr. Ryn Laster here with us today. And I just want to take a few moments to tell you a little bit about Dr. Laster, and then I'll turn things over to her for her talk. So Dr. Ryn Laster is a seasoned food science and animal welfare expert, serving as Director of Food Safety and Animal Welfare at Cal-Maine Foods Incorporated, the largest producer and distributor of shell eggs in the United States, which is based in Ridgeland, Mississippi. And Dr. Laster has been there for almost 28 years. Dr. Laster also worked in poultry processing as well as research and development prior to finding her home at Cal-Maine. Dr. Laster is a four-time graduate of Mississippi State University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in English, followed by a second bachelor's degree in poultry science, a master's in food science, and a PhD in poultry science, completing her doctoral degree while balancing family life and a growing professional career. I think that deserves a round of applause already. Very impressive. Since joining Cal-Maine Foods in 1998, Dr. Laster has led the company's food safety, animal welfare, salmonella prevention, crisis management, and biosecurity programs. Her work emphasizes the highest standards in egg production, quality assurance, and sustainable practices that support public health and industry integrity. Dr. Laster is deeply involved in the broader agricultural community, having served in leadership roles such as president of the Mississippi Egg Marketing Board since 2019 and three-time chair of the Mississippi Poultry Association. She also contributes to industry and academic advisory committees, including the United Egg Producers Food Safety Committee and the Advisory Board for Mississippi State's Department of Poultry Science. Dr. Laster also serves on Agriculture Commissioner Andy Gibson's Future of Agricultural Resiliency and Mississippi Council and has served on the board of the Mississippi Food Network and works with the Mississippi Food Network and Extra Table to facilitate donations throughout the year. She is the 2025 Hines Community College Alumnus of the Year and recently received the 2025 Director's Award from the Mississippi State University Extension Service. In 2019, she was named Distinguished Fellow of the Mississippi State University Poultry Science Department. Committed to food security and education, she has worked with nonprofit organizations focused on hunger relief and regularly engages with students and professionals to inspire future generations in agriculture and poultry science. I am pleased to recognize Dr. Laster as the 2026 Charles E. Lindley Lecturer and look forward to hearing her insights on how we can address food insecurity in Mississippi. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Laster.
Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, good morning. They told me I had to stand in place, so if I move around and you can't hear me, just somebody do this and tell me to go back to the microphone because I'm not used to that. You guys got your little tickets? All my little students, have y'all got your little tickets? Are they in here, Jada? You have tickets in here in your name tag. So I'm gonna draw like 3 of these and I'm gonna call them out and we'll do this and then we'll do some more when we get done. Just so y'all can wake up a little bit. Okay, the first number is 411363. 411363. Anybody got that number? Yay, come pick out a prize. I'm going to put you back in there. And then the second number is 411362. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Come pick out something. Yep. And then third number is 411357. Yay. Okay, we'll do some more when we get done too. Okay. There's some other sharp stuff here too. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I am proud to be here this morning. And first, I want to tell all of our students who are here as a part of this World Food Prize, the Mississippi Youth Institute, how proud I am of every single one of you for being here, because you're choosing to do something very powerful, and you're choosing to care about one of the biggest challenges that our world faces, and that challenge is hunger. And just because you're here, you're choosing to believe that solutions to this are possible. I got to sit a while ago and listen to kids talk about solutions to hunger, and it was really an amazing thing to listen to. I wish all of you could have heard it. Robert St. John, he founded Extra Table, and we're going to talk a lot about Extra Table and the Mississippi Food Network today. But he wanted to be here with us. He couldn't, but he did do a little introduction for me, and I honestly cut and pasted it. I don't know what he said, and let me just tell you, there's no telling what he said. But he did do that because he wanted to be here. But when you look at this, just keep in mind, Robert is a restaurateur. He is not in any way, he's not a food scientist. He didn't do any of that stuff, but he saw a need in his community, and we're going to talk about that. And that's when he founded Extra Table. And I wanted you guys to see this. I think he, from the looks of it, he filmed it at the Midtowner, which is his restaurant in Hattiesburg. And he is just your normal, everyday guy. But he came up with a big solution to help fight hunger. And we'll see what he says.
Welcome, faculty, students, and staff. My name is Robert St. John. I'm a 45-year veteran of the restaurant business, but I'm also founder of the statewide nonprofit food bank Extra Table. I know food safety, but you're in for a real treat with an expert in food safety and animal welfare, and it's Dr. Ryn Laster. Let's welcome her.
Well, goodness. As I said, he's a mess.
Welcome,
Hattiesburg. You need to go by and eat at one of his spots. He has some in Jackson too. But I know you guys learned a little bit about Dr. Borlaug before you come to this. Did you guys who are here participating? Did y'all learn some about him? Everybody? Okay, good. So I might kind of go through this a little bit quicker than I thought I would. But he's the father of the Green Revolution. He was an American scientist, an agronomist, and agronomists are near and dear to my heart because my son-in-law is an agronomist. He got his PhD from here. And he thought that nobody should ever have to go hungry because of where they were born or where they live. And during his career, he developed high-yield, disease-resistant wheat varieties, and he came up with all these ways to farm that better across the world. So because of this one person, his work dramatically increased food production in countries that literally face severe hunger and famine, like Mexico, India, Pakistan. And his work has touched just about every country in the whole wide world. So because of these efforts, he actually won the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, he's the only agricultural scientist to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize. The people you hear about winning that are like Jimmy Carter and Menachem Begin and, I don't know, Barack Obama, right? So everybody's usually a political figure. But he won it because of his agricultural research. And that's just a huge thing. So he didn't win it for ending war. He won it because he was helping to feed the world. He believed that food security is a foundation for peace and stability. And it just amazes me that he won it, and it just makes me proud that they actually recognized it. But just to tell you a little bit about when he won it, It was in 1970, and his wife they were in Mexico, they were living there. His wife got a phone call about the fact that he had won this. And of course, now when you win the Nobel Peace Prize, you got to understand, me and this microphone are on fight. That like the press descends on you, right? Because they want to hear what you have to say about it, because it's a huge deal. So she had to get in the car and drive over an hour to find him, because he was out in a wheat field in the middle of Mexico somewhere, recording all of his data. And I read a bunch of stuff about what she said about it, but he just kind of looked at her and he said, well, me and my assistant still have a lot of work to do recording all this data and these test plots, and I'll be home later. That's what he said. And so when the TV crews arrived in Mexico, they had to go out there to his research plots to find him and get quotes from him, because he was still out there recording his data. And he was born to Norwegian immigrant parents, and he grew up in Iowa, and in this little bitty small farming town in the northeast part of the state. He didn't grow up wealthy. He didn't grow up with a silver spoon. He didn't grow up with any special privileges. He did chores. He raised his crops. He raised his livestock, and he went to a one-room schoolhouse. But that's where he learned about discipline, responsibility, and hard work. He did start wrestling in high school, and his talent as an athlete opened up the door for him to get to go to college. So he studied forestry, and he worked a bunch of odd jobs to pay his way through school. And after he graduated, he worked for the Forest Service, but he wasn't done learning. He went back to the University of Minnesota to study plant pathology and earned his PhD. So early on, he went to work for DuPont, and then in 1944, he joined this pioneering agricultural program in Mexico that was led by the Rockefeller Foundation, and they wanted to improve wheat production in a country that was struggling with low yields and food shortages. So that's what he did for 16 years. He worked side by side with all these Mexican farmers. He didn't stay in the lab. He didn't think he was better than anybody else. He rolled his sleeves up and went to work. And if you high school students don't remember anything else that I say today, remember that when you get out and you're in the workforce and you have a job, make sure that anybody who's working for you knows that you will roll your sleeves up and do anything that you're asking them to do. That's very important. I worked in a chicken slaughter plant for 3 years. Okay. I wore my hairnet every day for 3 years in my lab coat. And I would come out of there, I didn't look real pretty at the end of the day. But I remember when I first started working there, I knew I had to work my way through that chicken plant and figure out what everybody did, because every single step in that had an effect on the end product, right? So I remember, I think I was probably, I don't know, maybe 25 years old. I don't know. So I went and got one of my yellow rain slicker seats, and I went out all day and hung out with the backup killer. And that's the guy who kills the chickens if they don't get killed when they go through the machine the first time. And so he and I got to be really good friends. He had no idea why I wanted to come out there and work with him and do all that, because it was gross and nasty. But from that day on, if I asked him to do anything for me, he would do it with no questions asked, because he knew that I would go out there and stand on the line with him and kill chickens that didn't get killed when they went through. So that's an important thing for you guys to remember. I know that's a little off topic, but I did want to mention that. But Dr. Borlaug had historic results, and all of this just went all over the world. And the one thing I want to for y'all to remember from this whole introduction to him is that this man, because of his work to prevent hunger and famine around the world, a lot of people say that he has saved more lives than any person in history. And here's the most important part to remember. He didn't start out as a famous scientist. He started out as a farm kid in a small town who worked hard and stayed curious and chose to use his skills to solve real world problems. So just remember that. If you want to set out to do something, you can absolutely do it. Dr. Borlaug also believes strongly in the power of young people's science and practical solutions. He often said that the fight against hunger is not about charity alone. It's about innovation, education, and action. And we're going to talk about some of that. But to continue his mission, He founded the World Food Prize in 1986, and it honors individuals who have made outstanding contributions to improving quality, quantity, or availability of food all around the world. It's kind of like the Nobel Prize for food, which I think is really cool. And more than an award, it's a movement. It exists to inspire the next generation. And that's what you guys are. Y'all are the next generation that are going to come behind me and other people who are fighting hunger today. So when we talk about hunger, it's easy to think about it as a distant problem. I never thought about hunger. Certainly, I never thought about hunger in Mississippi when I was growing up. I just didn't. And I'm sure it existed in my little town, but I didn't think about it. But the truth is that hunger's here. It's in Mississippi, and it's a really big problem. In our own state, thousands of families struggle every day to put food on the table. Children walk into classrooms distracted because they don't know where their next meal's coming from. They don't want to learn because they're hungry. Seniors skip meals so they can afford their medicine. They have to make a choice between the two. And sometimes parents work multiple jobs and long hours and still come up short at the end of the month. But before we look at a few statistics about hunger, I want to talk to you a little bit first about why hunger matters. Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember this, but I can remember my mama practically shoving breakfast down my throat during achievement tests at school. And I'm thinking, I don't want to eat, but I get it now because now I know what hangry means. And now I know that it's been proven that children can't learn if they're hungry and their bellies are rumbling, right? So that's a big thing. That's why it matters. Let's see, let me go. So why is it important? It can lead to poor mental health. It can lead to chronic stress, powerlessness, just depression. If you don't have enough food to eat, you're going to be chronically depressed, and that's going to be a problem. It can be severe for children. It can delay cognitive development, cause additional struggles with education and behavior problems, and put them at risk for a lot of different diseases. And when people can't access fresh, healthy food, either because of distance or availability, they may turn to eating fast food or go to the convenience store, pick up stuff, and then that's just never good because that's going to lead to things like obesity. So there's a lot of different reasons that it's important. And then the numbers. I don't know if y'all are aware of the numbers or not, but I put some national data and then I put Mississippi data. Mississippi, we're not used to leading a whole lot of things, but we do in this, and we have been for a long time. And so overall food insecurity rates, nationally, it's 14.3% of people are food insecure, but in Mississippi, that number stretches to 19.4% of our population. For children, 1 in 4 children in Mississippi are food insecure. Some of them may go to school and get a lunch and a breakfast, and they walk out of there and they know they're not going to eat again until they come back to school. That's a pretty common issue in the state of Mississippi, and that's why Mississippi Food Network has a lot of different things where they try to feed kids in the summertime too. Seniors are at 12.2% in Mississippi, nationally at 9.2%. So you can see we're above the national average there in all of those. So a few more statistics just to bring it in a little. Well, this is across the United States, then we'll get to Mississippi next. But as you can see, we lead the way: Mississippi, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Louisiana, and Kentucky. And then there's some other things here. But across the United States, 9.7% of employed adults, not people who don't go to work, employed adults, live in food insecure households. This means that these people work, but they still can't afford to feed their families. In Mississippi, like I said, we've commonly been the #1 state in food insecurity. Over 500,000 people are food insecure in Mississippi, and that includes our children, who are 1 in 4. In 2022, 3 of the top 10 counties in the nation regarding food insecurity were in Mississippi. Issaquah County was ranked number 2 in the nation. Holmes County tied for 4th in the whole nation. And Wilkinson County came in at number 10. Wilkinson County is not that far from here, is it? Where's Wilkinson County? South? Okay. I need to go brush up on that. Don't know. I thought it was closer to here. 19%, like I said, now that's up. This is an old figure, actually. So it's up to 20, over 20. And then among employed adults in Mississippi, 13.4% are food insecure, and that's the second highest in the nation. Another big issue is college students. So college students are having to choose between buying books or buying what they need for school or eating. Mississippi State has a food pantry on campus. A lot of colleges do now. It's an important deal, but it's and somebody at the University of Mississippi, even, which we don't usually talk about, we'll just call them the school up north, I guess, found that 46.1% of college students were at that school were food insecure, with almost 25% having a really hard time with food. So it's a big concern. Senior citizens too are also, I feel like sometimes they get left out, even though the Food Network does have senior boxes that they pack, but sometimes they're referred to as the hidden hungry. 1 in 11 seniors face hunger every day, and a lot of them can't get out and can't go get things from the grocery store because they're just not able to. Seniors who live in the South are far more likely to be food insecure. The reason for this is that 9 of the 10 states with the highest rates of food insecurity are in the South. 1/3 of food insecure senior citizens have a disability. And then they could live in a food desert too, which Mississippi has quite a few of. So, how do you even start to tackle all that? Because those are some big numbers, right? We've got 2 major food bank organizations in Mississippi, and I'm really fortunate to get to work with both of them. I was on the board at the Mississippi Food Network for 6 years. Rumor has it that they're putting me back on there. I don't know. We'll see. But I've seen firsthand what it takes to distribute over 25 million pounds of food a year in Mississippi. And during COVID, it was over 40 million pounds of food. The Food Network is a little bit different because it's part of Feeding America. If y'all need to go Google that if you want it when we get done, or sometime. Feeding America is a really cool thing, and they also participate in a lot of federal programs at MFN. They have over 400 plus agencies in their service area. So in those counties, they have over 400 partners, as they call them, that they distribute food to, who and then in turn distribute that to the community. The other organization, and you heard from Robert St. John there at the beginning, is Extra Table. Let me find my slide. There it is. Extra Table is a little bit different. So, Extra Table was started by Robert St. John, and he started on one simple truth: and a small amount of money used wisely can move large amounts of food. And y'all, both of these organizations can take $1 and turn it into 5 meals because they have the power to buy food in bulk and just the way they do things. So Extra Table is a little bit different. They deliver $95,000 worth of food every single month to their 66 partners that are in the green there. And they don't get any federal help. They don't do anything like that. All of their money comes from fundraising. And so even their staff, Martha, you're going to meet Martha here in a little while because she's going to be in our activity. But Martha and her staff, which is very limited, they get paid from a separate account that has nothing to do with donations that go to food. So Robert's got it set up to where everything that's donated, unless you designate it to be for a salary or something like that, it all goes to food. And Martha, who you're going to meet, she's going to be telling us all about how to pack meals here in a little while after lunch. But she's their executive director at Extra Table. And when I tell you that she is driven, that is an understatement. She makes the Energizer Bunny look like he's dragging. I'm telling you, she's something. and she's my hero, and she would have won this competition hands down and left everybody in the dust. She is something. So I don't know if they've told y'all guys what y'all are going to do this afternoon, but Extra Table has something called an extra full meal, and y'all are going to learn a lot about that. But what I want you to take from all this is when we were talking in our roundtable stuff this morning, and you guys were talking about ideas that you had. This is an idea that somebody had that they saw all the way through, and we're going to pack it this afternoon, and we have people coming to pick them up as soon as they're packed to take them to food pantries so that people can probably be eating these meals by tonight. So this is an idea that got taken all the way through that I want you to see that, and then we're going to make it and you can see the whole process. So Martha was driving 2 or 3 years ago, came up with this idea that could we take something, could we find some kind of meal that was easy to prepare, that we could look at what people in food deserts in Mississippi are deficient in, what vitamins and minerals they're deficient in, and could we put that somehow into a meal? And so she started working on that. And when she starts working on something, she doesn't stop until it's done. But she calls it the One Pot Wonder Meal. And the goal was to create a meal that was simple, healthy. Let's see, I've got a picture of it in here too. Here it is. Simple, healthy, affordable, and fast. Something that you can make in like 30 minutes and just use water. It literally just takes 5 cups of water to make it. And each package has 4 1-cup servings, but it's more than just about the food, and it's more than just about the vitamins and the minerals. It's also about family. Okay, studies show that kids who eat dinner with their family just 1 or 2 times a week are 40% likely to earn higher grades in school. A Harvard study also found that family dinners are one of the most important ways to help children build strong language skills. So Extra Table wanted to make it easier for families to sit down and do this together. They chose red beans and rice because it's a well-known and well-loved dish across the South and in Mississippi. Most families have their own version of it already, but there's a lot of science behind this choice that I want you guys to understand. And as you're thinking about what you wrote your papers about and those ideas that you came up to solve these solutions with hunger, how you can take an idea and turn it into a reality, and the things you have to think about. But beans are low in one essential amino acid called methionine, and rice contains it. And then rice is low in lysine, but beans have that. So when you put them together, you got this great protein, and you get what you need to help build and repair muscles and tissues, which is what a lot of people are lacking. And this meal is also reduced in sodium, high in fiber, and fortified with 22 added vitamins and minerals. And Martha and her team worked with lots of scientists across the South and out in California just to see exactly what these people were missing so they could put it in there. Wes Schilling, who's with us. Dr. Schilling, raise your hand. I was just talking to somebody this morning about what a rock star you are, by the way. He's my hero. I would not have my PhD without him, by the way. But you were a part of that. Wes worked on that too. Wes, well, small part, big part, whatever. He worked on that too. And so we have a RJ Reed who was the owner of Reed Technologies. It's a spice company that's in Jackson. He worked on that as well. Just lots of different people worked on it. And so this is what came out of it. The rice that's included in it comes from T. Brooks Farm, which is in the Mississippi Delta, and they donate that. So there's no cost. When Martha was thinking about the packaging, you have to think about packaging because some people can't read. Okay. Some of these people can't read. They literally sign their name with an X. So the pictures up there at the top on the directions, that's the directions in a nutshell, is in the pictures for the people who can't read. So that's another thing that you have to think about when you're doing all this, because your preparation is important for your food safety and things like that. So a lot of people maybe can't see as well, and they've had to choose between food and going to the optometrist or getting a new pair of glasses. They got to be able to see it. You got language barriers, and some people may not have the tools that they need. But this is literally just a pot, a spoon, and 5 cups of water. And it costs about $2 to make one of these meal kits. The beans are about 91 cents. The vitamin mix is 1 cent. The spices are 57 cents, and the packaging is 50 cents. And y'all are going to get to see all of that and how all of that works this afternoon. But Extra Full isn't just a meal. It's a way to fight hunger, improve health, and bring families back to the dinner table, one simple package at a time. And y'all get to do that this afternoon for 10,000 meals, which I think is like a really, really cool thing. So just from working, it takes 100 people about 1 hour to pack 10,000 of these, and y'all see how all that works. But another thing I wanted, let me go back a little bit. I wanted to mention too, we were talking in our roundtable about community and how important that is. This is just an example of what we've done at my little bitty church in Raymond, Mississippi, which is really small. This is a little bit old because it says, I think that we're feeding 45 families and now we're up to 95. This was a couple of years ago. So just know that it doesn't matter if you feed people in Mexico or Pakistan or wherever, you can feed people right where you live and make a difference where you are. And that's just an example of this. And this is what we try to provide to every family who comes in every month, with vegetables, fruits, starches, proteins, spaghetti sauce, flour, sugar, bread, cereal, grits, and oatmeal. And well, you get eggs. So I make sure they get eggs. And so it's been a really big blessing to our little church to have this, and it just keeps growing all the time. And we do receive a shipment from Extra Table every month. We're on their list. So it's been a really, really good thing for our little community. But I want to talk to you too. And my last point is, and the biggest thing you guys need to think about, I keep wanting to walk around and I can't do that, is what kind of career could you go into that's going to help you fight hunger? And keep in mind, no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you do, you can always help. You can always go volunteer at Extra Table. You can volunteer at the Food Network. You can do any of those things, no matter what you do. But Dr. Borlaug saw the need to have this competition to get you guys thinking about, well, maybe I am a problem solver and an innovator and an advocate, and want to do something like that and go into something that in college and study that to fight hunger. But going through this competition, you're learning about how science and policy and compassion come together. And you're really preparing yourselves. And he saw the need to prepare people and students who participate in this to become a part of the solution. So you can major in a lot of different things right here at Mississippi State University to take you into a path that's going to help you fight hunger. And I think I put those on a slide. Let's see. And I highly suggest Mississippi State is the best place on earth, by the way. But all these different things, agriculture, and food production majors like agronomy, agricultural science, animal and dairy science, horticulture, poultry science, which I really highly recommend, is a great major. It's great. And food science, Dr. Schilling does a great job over there at the Food Science Hub. They do all kinds of amazing things. Plant and soil sciences, they study about drought-resistant crops, disease-resistant plants, better soil practices, all kinds of stuff. I did list some careers too. As far as number one, of course, poultry scientists and looking at food safety and doing all kinds of things with agriculture. But in plant and soil sciences, they have plant breeders, soil scientists, agricultural researchers, and that's the kind of work, of course, that Dr. Borlaug did. Nutrition and dietetics, the reason I'm even involved with Mississippi Food Network is because the girl he babysat for me when she was in high school started out as the dietitian at the Mississippi Food Network. Had no idea there was a Mississippi Food Network until she went to work there. But she's worked her way up now. She's doing some other stuff, and she's made a huge difference there, and I'm really proud of her. But registered dietitians, public health nutritionists, school nutritionists, all those kinds of things come into play when you're talking about fighting hunger. Agricultural economics and policy. there's a ton of that goes on, and we've got to have good people who are doing that. I know we have a master's of ag econ here at Mississippi State. That's a fabulous program as well. Engineering and technology, you know, you've got irrigation systems. Some of the students in my little round group were talking about water problems in different countries. So, you know, when you're in engineering and technology, you learn about irrigation systems and how to potentially do that, how to do water filtration systems in different countries, food processing, all kinds of different things, community development and public policy, veterinary medicine, logistics, how to get things from point A to point B, which obviously we've talked about is a problem because, you know, in Mississippi, we're an agricultural state and we still have a hunger problem. So we've got a distribution problem. We've got a logistics problem that's part of a piece of that as well. So fighting hunger doesn't require just one type of job. Unfortunately, it takes scientists and farmers and engineers and teachers, business leaders, health professionals, policymakers. And whether you love biology, math, business, technology, or helping people, there's a path at Mississippi State University that can connect you directly to improving food access and food security if that's something you're interested in doing. The question isn't, can I help fight hunger? It's which skills do I want to use to make the biggest impact? So when you're thinking about what you want to do with the rest of your life and what you want to study, just think about that, because I think the fact that you're here says that you're already interested in that. And whether you stay in Mississippi or take your work around the world like Dr. Borlaug did, just remember that real change often starts locally. Organizations like Extra Table, the Food Network, and My Little Church Food Pantry prove that when people see a problem and care about it, they can find solutions and build solutions that can feed thousands and inspire millions of people. Solving hunger in the future will require teamwork. Governments, businesses, nonprofits, scientists, and community leaders are all going to have to work together. Smart policies based on real data will matter. And we have to focus not just on calories, but on nutrition, because healthy food improves learning, health, and long-term success. And this is where you guys come in. The fight against hunger is going to have scientists, engineers, farmers, economists, advocates, entrepreneurs. It's going to require people who can combine science and technology with compassion and leadership. So I want to challenge all of y'all today. Don't just compete in this competition. Commit to learning more about the problems and commit to asking better questions. Commit to using your education, your creativity, and your future career, whatever it is, to help build a world where no child learns on an empty stomach and no family has to choose between food and other necessities. Commit to using your future career to help create a world where everyone has enough to eat. The future of food, the future of the fight against hunger is sitting right here in this room. And I wish you all the luck in the world. And I'm very proud of you for being here. Okay, those are the three I've already done for. Okay.
That's pretty inspiring. So definitely something for you all to just consider to keep thinking about. And one of the things, as Dr. Laster was just giving her presentation, I was thinking about is how exciting it is to be in this room with the next generation of leaders. You all really are the next generation of leaders. And I hope that you feel inspired to be able to think about ways that you can contribute in your own community. And I would just encourage you throughout the rest of your time here and even on your drive back home, thinking about what are those areas in your life that you are really passionate about, because that's really where it starts, is taking that passion and putting that to action and being able to make a difference. And so I just really want to say thank you to Dr. Laster for that presentation and just all the work really that you've done in Mississippi. I feel like you've made such a huge difference and an impact. And so I just wanted to say thank you again. So please join me in thanking Dr. Laster.
I forgot to tell y'all, and I want to say thank you to Farm Bureau Federation for the money to pack these meals today. There was an honorarium for the speech, which I was not going to take, so that went to the meals. Farm Bureau Federation is here. They're going to help. They've helped paid for all this, and then my family made a donation as well. So that's how we're having 10,000 meals today. And I want to say thank you to Farm Bureau. They're here, and we appreciate them very much. And I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. And it would not be a true Maroon Friday if we did not present you with your very own cowbell. So thank you again on behalf of the College of Ag and Life Sciences. Yes, you can add it to your collection. So before we transition to lunch, I do want to just open things up. If there's any students that would like to ask any questions to Dr. Laster, obviously you heard her bio. There's a lot of different things that she's been able to do throughout her career and different ways she's been able to impact Mississippi. So I'd love to open it up if any of our students have any questions. Or anybody in the room that has any questions.
How many of you have ever volunteered at a food pantry? Yay! Job. Makes me happy.
Yes.
On the program, what does expansion look like to include more counties than we already have? Many a couple different programs. Are there expansion?
Yeah, I asked about that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she just asked the question about expanding into different counties. One thing I was looking at when I did this, because sometimes there's a little bit of lapse in communication between the Food Network and Extra Table, just because they're literally running 99 miles an hour all day long. So I'm kind of look at different things because I'm involved with both. But like Carroll County doesn't have a food pantry. And I thought that was a little bit odd. So we were talking about that. So we're trying to figure out a way to handle that. But there's a process for Extra Table because it all is private dollars and it's done through fundraising. They have an application. They do it once a year. I want to say it's due by the end of the year, and then in January, February, they add partners because $95,000 a month. That's a lot of money, but they have some great fundraisers throughout the year. And when you meet Martha, you'll know she's the really loud lady that's going to be over there telling y'all what to do. But she's great. Food Network, I do believe there's a process, from what I can recall, to apply there too. So if you have a food pantry, they will work with you to figure out if you need refrigeration. And because of a grant that they got a few years ago, they can kind of help with that in some instances, depending on where you're starting from. So I would call them and just explain to them, that you're in need of that or having a delivery, and just see what they can do because they'll help you.
I think you've got another question. You may just hang out up here.
I was just curious to get your thoughts on why food insecurity is so prevalent in the South. We have a longer growing season in the South than we have in the North, yet it seems like most of the food insecurity is concentrated in the South.
Well, actually, like North Dakota, Oklahoma, a lot of those places have a really large percentage as well. And I think a lot of it has to do simply with the fact that it can be up to 100 miles to get to the grocery store in some places in Mississippi in a food desert. I know I drove the other day up through the Delta going somewhere, and I look for grocery stores just because I'm a nerd and that's what I do. When I'm driving, I look for grocery stores to see how far they are from where people live. But I think that's a huge part of it. I really do. And I think that Andy Gibson's also working on having some different farmers markets that move around and do some things. So I think there's a lot of different things that contribute to it, but it's not just a problem here. Anybody else have any questions? My roommate from college just walked in the back door, and she brought her students with her too. So I'm proud of that. Okay.
Thank you. So before we transition over to lunch, again, happy Maroon Friday. We have some prizes for a raffle. So if you want to get those tickets back out, we have a couple of fun things. Dr. Laster also brought some fun, cute socks from Cal-Maine, so you can also represent and remember the Youth Institute. So everybody has their tickets out. All right, I feel like I need some music to help keep this going. All right, so 4, 1, 1, 3, 4, 9. All right. Feel free to pick out. We've got some cups, t-shirts, Cal-Maine socks. Does anybody else's heart sink when you start calling out numbers and you're like, you already skipped me? I feel like I never win anything, so that's how I feel. All right, we're going to do one more. So 4, 1, 1, 3, 5, 4. Anybody? Okay, this might be your lucky day. I'm trying to help you out here the best I can. All right, 4, 1, 1, 3, 6, 4. All right, the front row is just where it's at. You're rewarded for sitting up front. All right, we're gonna do one more. 4, 1, 1, 3, 4, 4. All right. What a perfect segue, because JJ is actually going to speak to us at lunch. So I promise that was not planned. So, all right. Thank y'all so much. We have a couple of minutes before lunch starts. So if you need to take a break, the restrooms are right outside of this room. But once you're ready, feel free to make your way over here into the Boss Auditorium, and we will get started with lunch. Thank you.